I've always believed that we achieve much more together than we do apart, and that's a principle which applies to every walk of life, not least to government, where I've spent a lot of my career. But clearly, by doing that, taking that approach, you can save costs, you can bring in new innovatory ideas, you don't exclude anyone from solutions, and therefore you don't exclude anyone from the benefits either. I think it's a lovely formula, and it applies to almost any context. I've got a fairly unique history, I suppose, in that I've always been involved in the voluntary sector and the third sector, from my mother's knee virtually. My career has been in the public sector and in government, and now I write about and work with the private sector. So seeing all of those and knowing what their sort of vested interests are in each case, I know that those who say that the private sector cannot be the answer to a problem are just as wrong as those who say that the private sector, for example, is the answer to every problem. There are good players in every sector, there are less effective players in every sector. We need to recognise that even one company, which might on its headlines be not operating on common good principles, can nevertheless be doing that at grassroots level to engage its workforce better with communities and engage its workforce better therefore with the company, for example. So we mustn't condemn organisations for what they are, by all means judge them on what they do, but take a holistic view of what they do. It's difficult enough to see a common good framework operating within government, because even within government you have silos. You have departments talking about departmental interests, and you have even groups within departments not recognising that there are ideas out there which others have got, not just in others' departments but outside government, which can be incorporated into that common good approach which is inclusive. So that's a basic barrier, but that same sort of thing applies elsewhere as well. Private sector believes that it has the answers, many in the voluntary sector believe that only they have the answers. We've got to get away from this. We've got to get towards pooling ideas, pooling experience, and looking for ways in which we can make the most of all the resources that we've got to tackle some of the world's real problems.